The Supreme Court has instructed lawyers of the Electoral Commission to avail scanned copies of all declaration of results forms to the legal team of the former Premier, Mama Mbabazi.
When you pleased to grant us permission to go and inspect the documents in possession of the second respondent, we did go, inspected them, and found that they were substantial and fundamentally lacking, and asked them to avail them to us so that we could be at the same page to understand what we're talking about. My lords, the reason was we would have sought the intervention of an expert, handwriting expert, to ascertain, because what we discovered was that those DRForms that they showed us were written by one person. That's what appeared to us, and that's why we asked for them. My lord, they didn't. Instead, they came clandestinely, wrote to the court, they didn't inform us, and secretly and irregularly smuggled some documents in this court, my lords.
Mbabazi is challenging the president's victory in the Supreme Court, which has original jurisdiction to hear presidential election petitions. Whereas the Commission wrote to the court confirming it had availed scanned copies of declaration of results forms to Mbabazi's legal team, lawyer Severino Twinopsinje told court that no such copies had been availed. Court last week instructed the Commission to display DRForms. However, the petitioner's team demanded that physical copies be availed to them.
We wrote to them, we said we would like the DRForms, we want the stand forms, we want the tally sheets. And besides, my lords, we asked them to give us some documents that relate to the BBK, including the information relating to what information would ordinarily be found on that machine. My lord, they didn't. To that extent, you have no DRForms before you, including those which are scanned. They have not provided any to us. We asked, my lords, that the documents they smuggled into this court should be expunged from the court record and be removed from this court building. My lords, because this is a court of justice, everything is done in black and white.
Court has once again instructed the Commission to avail the forms and copies of pictures captured by the verification machine.
It was the chairman of the second respondent's evidence before this court that he did not have tally sheets, did not have their forms, that what he used to transmit were scanned copies. We have asked for them. What they brought are hard copies which are disputed. We want both hard and those soft copies that he said he used to declare results, because the results are disputed.
Well, obviously he can only give you what he has. My lord, the inspection was allowed. Yes. At the end of the inspection, from what I've seen, they wrote and said, can we have copies of these following documents? And you stated later, writing to the registrar, that they had taken copies. Now it appears that's not true. They didn't take any copies. So can you make available to them the copies they require? Formally, give them to the copies and copy in the court. Give us copies as well. Much obliged, my lord.
On voting day, the Commission came under the spotlight for delays in the delivery of voting material within opposition bastions of Kampala and Wakiso. Enos Tumsime, one of the electoral body lawyers, which is the second respondent in the suit, revealed that the glitch arose because the EC was overwhelmed in delivering electoral materials.
Let me pause here and invite court to recognize that this is a phenomenal and gigantic task. We are all aware when ballot papers were delivered to this country. And we are aware that from then on to the election period of 18 time, there was very little time. But this exercise of tallying the two, in addition to printing these papers, was not a very simple exercise. And I really beg court to understand the logistics.
If the petition is as empty in its scope as the one before your lordships, if it is as narrow in its extent as the one before your lordships, it is into that your lordships must inquire.
Lawyers of the respondent opined that the EC deliberately sent materials to far-flung areas to mitigate delays.
Every person that the petitioner has lined up to say that there were delays voted. The petitioner has not brought you a witness who says, I walked away from the polling station. He has brought you witnesses who said, I waited and waited and waited. Some of them have said, I saw people walking away, but they don't know if those people came back. They don't even mention who those people are.
However, the justices tasked lawyers to explain why Kabong district, which is 384 kilometers from Kampala, got material on the same day as Mukono, which is only 24 kilometers away from the city.
Indeed, the Commission has apologized.
Counsel Tumsime told court that the petitioner breached the law when his agents failed to report inefficiencies at the different polling stations to the electoral body. 2 of the 3 respondents in this petition have requested court to dismiss with costs the petition in which former Prime Minister John Patrick Amama Mbabazi is challenging the presidential results. Tomorrow, the Attorney General will be submitting his case before the 9 justices. Shiran Huchure, NTV, at the Supreme Court here in Kampala.